CenturyLink Event Center is one of 6 voting centers open in King County, and we are here to highlight those locations and to encourage all eligible voters to cast their ballot. As we all know, Tuesday is Election Day. It's finally here, but let's talk for a minute about how we got here. With still 3 days to go, just over 1 million people in King County have returned their ballots. That's a participation rate already of over 70%, a record. And this astonishing turnout, and of course there is still time to vote, was made possible by the safe, secure, prompt work of King County elections. Turning out so early means that more ballots can be counted on election night, and you can get the results faster. So to those 1 million plus voters, I wish I could give you all one of these I voted stickers. But I do want to give you my heartfelt thanks for so enthusiastically participating in our democracy. But what if you haven't voted yet? Maybe you haven't made it to a drop box, or somehow you misplaced your ballot, or maybe you weren't able to register online before the deadline. Well, King County Elections is here to help. These 6 voting centers, spanning from the University of Washington to Federal Way, Kent, Renton, Kenmore, and here in downtown Seattle at CenturyLink Field, are here to make sure you can exercise your right to vote. Elections officials will be here to solve any problems you have and make sure you're registered. To be clear, this is not one of the old-style polling places where you go into the booth and mark the ballot. There's a lot more service offered here, and Julie Wise is going to tell you more about what's available at these 6 voting centers. But right now I want to ask you to do one thing, one simple thing, and I want to ask this of every eligible voter in King County. Vote. Vote by the deadline on Tuesday. In conversations at drop boxes, I've had a chance to visit with some folks, and I've heard directly from them about what motivated them to come out and vote early. For many, I think, they just simply said they always vote. It is their duty as an American. For some, they said they really want this year to make change. Others voted because of their concern this year about the pandemic and what it means for them and their families. And some even older than your speaker here, said that they were voting for the first time, that they'd never been motivated to register, never been motivated to vote, but that this year was different. No matter why you vote, over these next 3 days, we want to make sure everyone in King County who is eligible has the chance to get registered and has the chance to cast their ballot. The clock is ticking. The good news is there is still plenty of time to vote. You don't need to wait in line for hours, as you've seen in so many other states. The policy and the commitment in Washington State and in King County is that we are going to do everything we can to make it possible for you to cast your vote, to exercise your franchise, to participate in the democracy. If you've got your ballot at home, fill it out and drop it into one of our more than 70 drop boxes around the county. At this point, 3 days before the election, the drop box is probably the best way to ensure that your vote is cast on time. If you have lost your ballot and you need help with it, or maybe you still need to register, and you can still register up to and including on Election Day, voting centers like this are here to help. Director Julie Wise is going to tell us more about what services are available at these centers, but now I want to turn it over to one of our partners who made the voting center possible, David Young of the Seattle Seahawks. David.
Thank you, Executive Constantine, and thank you, Director Wise. And welcome everyone to CenturyLink Field and CenturyLink Field Event Center. I don't get to say that very often these days, so I'm happy to do so today. We're thrilled at the Seahawks and CenturyLink Field to once again partner with King County Elections to turn CenturyLink Field Event Center into an official vote center. You know, we receive so much support, we at the Seahawks, from the community, from the 12s. We all know that Seattle fans are the best sports fans, and this community has provided the Seahawks with so much support over the years and we take that responsibility seriously. We recognize how important it is then for us at the Seahawks and CenturyLink Field to give back and support the community. So we're continually looking at ways that we can support our community, and we do so throughout the year. And you know, as we're looking at that, one of the most important things that we could do is to support voter registration and support encouragement for our fans, for those in this region to vote. You know, this great relationship we have with King County elections really began last year as CenturyLink Field turned 18 years old. We were contemplating the fact that we were just 2 years away from 20 years here at CenturyLink Field and realized CenturyLink Field was old enough to vote. Certainly the stadium can't vote, didn't get a ballot, but it sparked the idea for us to work with Director Julie Wise and King County Elections last year to engage in voter engagement, voter registration, and we had so much success that really turned into a much larger initiative this year around voting. Obviously, with the higher profile election this year, it was just fitting that we did more. You may remember that at one point our players actually canceled practice to ensure that each one of our players were registered to vote. So our message here to fans is this: we understand that voting can be intimidating. We understand that, especially if you're a first-time voter, but please don't let that stop you. Resources like this vote center and the other vote centers across the city and the county are here to help. We encourage all fans to make their voices heard, shape your future, shape your community, and get out and vote. So please do so. Go vote and go Hawks. Now, Director Julie Wise will join us for comments as well.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And a big thank you to Executive Constantine and David for being here to encourage our community to get out there and make their voices heard. This morning, we are opening vote centers across King County to serve our voters in these final days leading up to Election Day. We are proud to be able to offer in-person service at a total of 7 locations, including right here at CenturyLink Field Event Center. This location at CenturyLink Field would simply not be possible without the incredible partnership and support of the Seattle Seahawks and CenturyLink Field. And I simply cannot express my gratitude enough for making this beautiful and huge location available for us. All of our vote centers will be open today, Monday and Tuesday, to register voters, issue replacement ballots, and assist our voters in any way that they need. Voters with disabilities can go to any location to use an assistive device that includes things like audio and large print, so all can cast a private and secure ballot and feel confident that their vote will count. As you can see with the current COVID climate we're in, we opted to use large-scale event center spaces for our vote centers this year, to help ensure that we can provide enough space for our voters to stay socially distanced while accommodating the large numbers of voters we expect to come see us. In this election, with unprecedented turnout, we know that we will see thousands of voters across all 7 locations over the coming days. Just yesterday, we hit over 1 million ballots cast here in King County. That is incredible. As an election administrator of 20 years, I've never seen anything like it. And while I'm always inspired by the voters here in King County, this year, in this election, that truly feels more true than ever. So thank you, King County, for turning out, speaking up, and casting your ballots early. You are heroes of democracy, and my team and I are proud to serve you each and every day. One thing that I've heard from voters over the last few weeks is that some are waiting to vote to come in person to cast their ballot. And while we are always happy to see you, I really want to be clear about what is happening at vote centers and what is not. As you can see, there are no fancy electronic voting machines. There are no voting booths. There is not the in-person voting experience that existed before we moved to vote by mail 10 years ago. The ballot that voters are issued at vote centers are the exact same paper ballots that we mailed to their homes earlier. Casting a ballot at a vote center is no different than filling it out at home and dropping it into your neighborhood drop box. All ballots are collected from those drop boxes in exactly the same way and securely transported back to King County Elections headquarters in Renton for processing. There's no reason to wait to vote here in King County. There's also no reason to wait until Tuesday to vote. If you do need to get registered or get a replacement ballot, come see us today. If you can't make it out today before 4 p.m., try to come see us on Monday afternoon during the day. I can promise you that the longer you wait to get to a vote center, the longer you're going to have to wait in line. Of course, any voter in line by the end of the day, whether that's 4 p.m. today, 6 p.m. on Monday, or 8 p.m. on Tuesday, will be served and able to cast an on-time ballot. But please do not be the voter that shows up at 7:58 p.m. on Tuesday. There's no reason to cause yourself that kind of worry in this really important election. It's also important to note that in line means in line. It doesn't mean in the parking lot. It doesn't mean within eyesight of the line. It doesn't mean across the street from the line. It truly means in line. State election law doesn't make exceptions for hitting a red light or being stuck in traffic. Don't take that chance. Vote early. Vote right now. And come see us as soon as possible if you need any in-person assistance. In addition to this amazing CenturyLink field location, we have vote centers in Bellevue, Federal Way, Kenmore, Kent, Renton, and at the University of Washington. For those that do not need to come to get registered or get a replacement ballot but have questions, give us a call at 206-296-VOTE. Again, that's 206-296-VOTE. Our team is here to help and can help you figure out if you do need to come in person to a vote center. You know that you can also print a replacement ballot right offline? Of course, you have to have access to a printer, but you'll be able to go to the link right on our website at King County Elections. Through my voter information tool on our website, you can even pre-order a replacement ballot before you visit a vote center so that you can reduce the amount of time that you have to wait in line. You can get in and get out faster. For those coming in person, please wear a mask. We are following guidance from the CDC and King County Public Health to reduce the spread of COVID during this busy time, and we need our voters to do their part in that as well. If you don't have a mask, we will happily provide you with one once you're here. And while we are happy to be able to be here to serve our voters, we're not going to entertain arguments about masks or COVID-19. The safety of our staff and our voters is our top priority, period. Finally, as we approach Election Day, we want our voters to know that we've got this. Our elections here in King County and Washington State are secure and accessible, accurate and transparent. To date, there have been no incidences of voter intimidation or attempts to sabotage drop boxes. We expect the best through Election Day, but we are prepared for whatever may come our way. All drop boxes will have King County election staff present on Monday and Tuesday, and on Tuesday, we'll have non-uniformed private security there as well to help de-escalate should a situation arise. If you've already voted, talk to your friends and family to make sure they've done the same. It's time to get every last ballot voted and back in our hands. Don't wait. Do it today. When we set our projection for 90%, it really seemed like an audacious goal, but every day we get closer, and at this point, we may even exceed that target. So let's keep it up, King County. Together, we can hit 90.